on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Happy Democracy Day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kiko Sport Show. My name is Oladapo Kunubi. Top of the morning to you, and while it is the first half of AM update, and it's Kiko Sport Show. In case you're just tuning in, this is your Remedy Radio Dial Solutions 939 FM. On the show this morning, we look at updates from the world of tennis. Congratulations to Novak Djokovic. Well, he's saying he's not the GOAT yet, but I mean, winning the French Open, another Grand Slam. And well, a lot of people saying this man is a real deal. Well, congratulations as well to Andy Murray, because this man, without his family around, he still did what he could have done. And well, winning a title and in preparations for the Wimbledon. We look at updates more in the second half of the show where we talk football, the NPFL Super 6. Congratulations to AIMA International winning the NPFL season. We're after the Super 6 in Lagos. We look at more updates also this morning, reviewing what happened in the UEFA Champions League, same as well transfer stories. But talking about the NPFL Super 6, on the Twitter, J Sam, Samuel Arel will be joining me live on the show this morning. He was part of the journalists who experienced the NPFL Super 6 right there in Lagos. We focus on so many issues this morning. Finidi George, Aimba, Ramos Stars, Bendel Insurance on beating, not bringing out a result. Maybe the FA can bring them to the continent from the back door. Remember, we're live on Facebook, facebook.com/Solutions939FM, YouTube Solutions939FM. Keep watching, streaming, and liking. Do not go anywhere. Let's start with Novak Djokovic this morning, who stood proudly at the pinnacle of men's tennis and then won his rivals. There is plenty more still to come since claiming his first Grand Slam title at the Australian Open in 2008. Djokovic has been pursuing Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal through the history books, but he has surpassed both, having broken the record he jointly held with Nadal by claiming the 23rd trophy at the French Open. Djokovic's 7-6, 6-3, 7-5 victory over Casper Ruud draws him a level with Serena Williams, and he could equal Margaret Court's all-time singles mark at Wimbledon next month. Now, it is now all but impossible to make the case for anyone other than Djokovic being the greatest male player of all time and having won 6 of the last 8 major tournaments he has played at 36. He is more dominant than ever. Well, after winning the French Open yesterday, Djokovic also gave a message out to the young lads out there.
And I would just like to send a message to every young person out there, whatever you're pursuing in the world, whether it's tennis, sports, or anything else. You know, I was a 7-year-old dreaming that I could win Wimbledon and become #1 in the world one day. As I said, I'm beyond grateful and blessed to be standing here with so many incredible achievements. But one thing is for sure, I feel that I had the power to create my own destiny. I try to visualize every single thing in my life, not only believe it, but really feel it with every cell in my body. And I just want to send a message out there to every young person. Be in the present moment, forget about what happened in the past. Future is something that is just going to happen, but if you want a better future, you create it. Take the means in your hands, believe it.
That's the short message. Wow, the future is surely bright. Believe in what you're doing and trust the process, just like how Ayotunde Onobolu will say, trust the process. Well, Andy Murray congratulated Novak Djokovic on his French Open triumph before joking he hoped the 23 Grand Slam singles champion will now take his eye off the ball in the build-up to Wimbledon. Both men enjoyed successful Sundays, with Murray stepping up his preparation for Wimbledon in style with a 6-3, 6-2 victory over Austrian Jurij Rodionov in the men's final of the Lexus Surbiton Trophy. Hey, did we just forget the lady from Poland, Iga Swiatek, who claimed the WTA category of the French Open, beating Karolina Munkova 6-2, 5-7, 6-4. Let's move straight to the second half of the show where we talk football. It was a weekend of victories, tears, pains, right there at the NPFL Super 6. And guess what? The People's Elephants claimed a ninth NPFL title following a 1-1 draw against Rivers United at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onikon, Lagos. And, well, remember, Enyimba will compete in the CAF Champions League next season. Remo Stars, who came second with same points, have an inferior goal difference, will be playing also on the continent. But now let's join on this with J Sam on the side as we, do a review of the NPFL Super 6, how it all went. If a Finidi Judge is a representative of some ex-internationals that can become coaches in Nigeria. Good morning to you on the speech of J Sam. It was great having you in Lagos, and thank you for joining us this morning. Okay, we lost J Sam again. We'll try to reconnect this morning. I mean, looking at the result of games that came from the NPFL Super 6, different drawn games. Hello, good morning, J Sam.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, on this is J Sam. We'll see you. Good morning.
Hello?
Okay, so we'll try to reconnect in the next few minutes as we connect with on the switch to J Sam this morning. However, looking at how other teams have finished in the NPFL Super 6, some saying that maybe Bendel Insurance wasn't really blessed to play in that kind of a Super 6, but and Enyimba maybe more prepared than other teams. But hey, for Rivers United, finishing well, Bremen Stars finishing well. Let us also see if we can pass through this corner this morning. Well, maybe monies will be also shared. Hello, good morning, J Sam. Thank you for joining us. Can you hear me clearly here? Hello. Okay, are we clear here, J Sam? Okay, so on this with J Sam is clear and ready to go this morning. Good morning to you, J Sam. Okay, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, we are with you. We are with you, J Sam. So let us talk about the NPFL Super 6 for Enyimba with the outstanding performance in Lagos. And well, some may say that it wasn't an outstanding performance, most especially with series of drawn games. And on the last day, things changed. What do you think really came for Enyimba? How did they get that opportunity to nick up the trophy?
First and foremost, good morning, young striker. Then good morning to our listeners as well. For Enyimba, or before I go into that, the whole tournament was really good. Regardless of some of the draws we had on Wednesday, I think the final two match days, the players lived up to expectations. They were able to bring their A game because people really criticized the games on Wednesday that they were not really good enough. But we saw a change of quality on Friday and as well as on Sunday. Despite the draw between Rivers and Enyimba, you could see the intensity, you could see the pace of the game, you could see how the two sides wanted to get a win at all costs, but that didn't happen. And for Enyimba, I think the key moment for them in the whole tournament was not to lose or to. They did the job against the bottom side in the tournament. You look at their win against Lobi and their win against Sunshine Stars. That's really good because everything got down to goal difference, and they were the only side that won by a 3-goal margin, and that was how they clinched the title. ahead of Remo Stars. And Remo Stars also clinched the continental slots, CAF Champions League slots, ahead of Rivers United by virtue of good defense. So it was a bit tight at the top, and it goes to show that these three teams really competed for the title, and it could have gone either way on the final day.
Okay, talking about how Ayimba did the job, I mean, playing a 1-0 draw the last day, but I mean, if you look at their results, they look like a team more focused. I mean, all teams were focused because I listened to the assistant coach of the team where he said finishing second will be very disappointing for them. All they want is winning the NPFL title. But now it's looking more in favor with the way things went. More teams from this side of the region. You look at Ayimba, you look at Rivers United, you look at Remo Stars, and a Lobby Stars that finished well in the Group B of the abridged version, finished rock bottom. And let's talk about Bendel Insurance this morning. Bendel Insurance unbeaten in the NPFL, went to the Super 6, and well, things were not as they thought. They were drawing games, and they felt like maybe very soon they were going to get that win, but things could not come out well. Are they really born to play on the continent?
Well, playing on the continent is not by virtue of what I've done in the regular season. It's what you do or what you've done in the Super 6 or the Super 4. That's where it matters most. So regardless of you finishing top or you finish third, coincidentally, Imba finished third of their group in the regular season. So they had to grind out a goalless draw in Ibadan to secure that top spot. They were finished above them as well as Bendel Insurance. So it was down to the Super 6. It was down to experience. It was down to the teamwork, character, and the experience more in the Super 6. And that's what counted for him. I think Bendel Insurance, aside that they did very well during the regular season. Like I've always said, I think it's a good season for them, a very fantastic season for them, to be honest. They only got promoted this season with the hope that at the end of the season they will not be relegated. And they got extra bonus, which was to compete at the Super 6 for the continental slot and the title. And they're also in the final of the Federation Cup. So they are not down and out yet totally. So they just need to channel that energy, that frustration of not winning any game at the Super 6 to the final against Enugu Rangers next week. So probably they will get their hands on the trophy. I mean, who says they can't even win a trophy and get the title? But as far as I'm concerned, I think they've done well for themselves. And as for the teams in the South, it was always going to happen. You look at the number of Southern teams at the Super 6, it was 7 against 1. And Lobby Stars even finished bottom. They finished last. It goes to show that the quality down south is not, the quality down south at the moment is really, really high. Last season, we had Plateau and Kwara United finish in the top 4. Then Remo finished third, Rivers finished top. So it's something that they really shared equally last season. And that's one thing about a bridge season. It tends to favor, or let me say, down to the quality of the teams in the south, tends to favor them a whole lot. And this season, 3 northern teams got relegated. National United Academy, as well as Wiki Tourism, got relegated. So I think it's something that has to do with quality. And going into next season, we don't know the formats will be played. So until then, I actually think that the quality still stands or stays with the south. But you look at the teams that have been coming up from the north, from BNN, it's expected that Kano Plus and Katsina will come up. And if those two should join them, then it adds more quality to the northern teams because they've always been traditional campaigners in the MPFL until the unfortunate relegation next season, last season. So I think it's just something that happens briefly. It's not like there's a total dominance of this side.
Okay, but before you go this morning, because I know you also have to attend to other issues this morning, but looking at how these teams finished, Ayimba, Remo, Rivers on the continent, well, Federation's Cup, the final, if a Bendel Insurance or and Enugu Rangers, can we say we have strong representatives on the continent, with all the representatives we've got in the Super 6 and whoever comes from the Federation's Cup, at the end of the day?
I think that the best three that we can put forward are the ones that emerge from Lagos. I actually predicted that three of them would emerge. I also said it would be Rivers and Enyimba compete for the title. And I'm just glad that Remo Stars are back on the continent. Last year, it was dancing experience. That was why they lost out to Aspa. This campaign, I think, if they get a favorable draw, it's their first time in the CAF Champions League. Yeah. If they are lucky to get a decent team that they can fight against, I think they have a very good start. They just need to strengthen a few places and be mentally and psychologically ready for what comes with the CAF Champions League, because it's really tasking. As for anybody, they have the experience, they have everything going. Probably they will fix their off-field issues in terms of salaries here and there, and they will be good to go. I think Rivers are also good. They go to the CAF Corporate Cup quarterfinals this season, and we'll see where they will be playing next season.
Okay.
Hopefully, we are just hopeful that at least we'll get one of or two of our teams in the group stages of this CAF competitions.
Okay, thank you very much on this Twitter, J. Sam. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Always a pleasure.
All right. Okay, on the Twitter, J. Sam speaking there is an NPFL expert, same as analyst, is a data analyst as well. Well, you can remember to follow on the Twitter, J. Sam on Twitter, at on the Twitter, J. Sam. At the point in time, was using engineer Kowokwe. All right, guys, let's go on a break, and when we return, we'll look at more football stories. Do not go anywhere. It's still Kiko Sports Show on your Remedy Radio Dial Solutions 939 FM.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data plus jollificate 15% bonus when you recharge, just use Momo. You wan pay for market where you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account to fiam, make you fit dey pay for anything. Send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo. You go jollificate 15% bonus anytime you recharge with Momo.
Saleko is a jungle. Everyone does what they must to survive.
Gangs of Lagos don't land for Prime Video and na the #1 film. So make una go watch am. E get better stars like Toby Bakri, Adeswai Tomi Wellington, Chike, Iyabo Ojo, and more. Plus the gege action with them do for the film. Chai! Now for only Prime Video you fit watch Gangs of Lagos, and they will first give you 7 days free trial. Terms and conditions deal. Oh yeah, check back to Prime Video.
Hello, sir. Do you mind if I interview you quickly?
No. I don't get
Just
time.
a quick one, sir. If you get 1 million naira right now, what would you...
You said? First of all, hey, I go share this my phone. Oh. After that, I will come buy red bars, you understand? Then I'll come work well. Come block my landlord main office, see my status. God declare for the boys. Levels all land with that.
Take off on a millionaire level and do as you like with the FCMB Millionaire Promo Season 9 by increasing your savings account balance by 10,000 naira and keeping it for 30 days in your FCMB account. And if you're a new customer, deposit 10,000 naira into your account and keep it for 30 days. And you could be one of the winners of $1 million naira and other amazing cash rewards. Approved by NLRC and FCCPC. FCMB, My Bank and I.
Mommy!
Yes, daughter?
Why is it that almost everyone in my school comes with Sumal candies and biscuits? I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow!
Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
I will lift up mine eyes to the hills. My help comes from the Lord.
Yes,
Experience God's mighty power, working miracles, transforming lives and destinies through his anointed servant, Prophet Taiwojo, at 72 Hours with God from Friday night to Sunday, 11th of June. Theme, Help from Above. Join us with your loved ones to receive the help you need from God. Every struggle and sorrow shall be terminated by God's supernatural presence and power at Mercy Camp, Osengiri, Ibadan from Friday night to Sunday, 11th of June. Ministering Prophet Taiwojo and other anointed ministers of God. Music ministrations by Bukola Akínyadé Ṣẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀ Jésù, Bísí Aláwìyé Àlùkò, Elijah Akíntúndé Ọlọ́run Sọ̀bẹ́, Gbénga Adénúgà, Bridget Adénúbí, Àtinúkẹ́ Ẹ̀rí Májẹ̀mú, and many others. Please note, we shall be rounding off early Monday morning. For more information, please call 0902-011-3558. 72 Hours with God. Come, don't miss it.
Welcome back to Kicker Sports Show on Solutions 939 FM, your Remedy Radio dial. Check us out right now. It is 8:22. Let's move straight. 7 players have hit the camp of the Super Eagles ahead of the Nations Cup qualifiers against Sierra Leone, scheduled for 18th of June. Those in camp include William Troost Ekong, Ademola Lookman, Joe Aribo, Alex Iwobi, Kevin Bassis, Shemi Ajayi, and Kevin Akpoguma. But checking the Twitter handle of the Super Eagles this morning, most especially other updates about players in camp. Well, the camp is almost full. Ekong, Lookman, Aribo, Iwobi, Basi, Ajayi, Akpoguma, Omerio, Indidi, Iheanacho, Awoni, Simon, Moses, Adele, Sochima, Ojo, Duru, Samuel, Divine, Onyenka. In camp, 19 players in camp. The latest update from the Super Eagles camp on the Twitter handle this morning. Let's go straight to Argentina this morning, where Uruguay defeated Italy 1-0 on Sunday to win their first Under-20 World Cup title. The Celestes' victory ends a streak of 4 consecutive wins by European teams in the tournament. Luciano Rodriguez scored their winning goal in the 86th minute with a header from close range, giving Uruguay a much-deserved victory after dominating the entire match against Italy. Okay, now let's talk club football stories this morning, where Cagliari's Leonardo Pavoletti scored in the stoppage time to secure their return to Serie A with a 1-0 win at Bari on Sunday in promotion playoff second leg, depriving the opponent of a place in the Italian top flight with a 2-1 aggregate victory. Cagliari were under pressure at the Foggy Stadio San Nicola, where only a victory would see them promoted. Okay, now let's talk about a quick review of the UEFA Champions League. Remember, it is no longer news that Manchester City are the new sheriff in town, most especially the new champions of the UEFA Champions League after that 1-goal victory over Inter Milan.
Lazy dribble. City looking to work it to the right-hand side this time. Here's Bernardo Silva. Could he be the man? Not to be. Rodri! Rodri! At last, City in dreamland. 68th minute. Rodri finds the goal. They were just beginning to wilt into Milan. Oh, we've survived scares, and there it is! The best team in Europe, maybe the best team of all time. Treble winners, Manchester City. Can you believe it? What a night in Istanbul.
So that was that strike from Rodri. However, this man, after that strike, was also named the Champions League Player of the Season by UEFA on Sunday after that stellar performance. Well, let's also quickly look at some other updates. Rodri appeared in all but one of City's Champions League matches, scoring twice. He delivered a standout performance in the final, earning the Player of the Match award. 7 of the 11 sports on the team of the season went to Manchester City players. Well, remember, Napoli's Kvicha Kvaratskhelia was named in the Champions League Young Player of the Season, capping a remarkable campaign for 2020, the 22-year-old Georgian. Let's quickly look at the team of the season of the UEFA Champions League. For team of the season, the goalkeeper went to Thibaut Courtois, defenders Kyle Walker of Manchester City, Ruben Diaz of St. Manchester City, Alessandro Bastoni of Inter Milan, and Federico De Marco of Inter Milan. For the midfielders of the season, John Stones of Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne of the Citizens, Rodri of Manchester City. So they claimed the midfield. And for the forwards, we've gone to Bernardo Silva of Manchester City, Aaron Allen of Manchester City, and Vinicius Jr. of Real Madrid. Okay, so that's the update. Now, talking about the seats for the 2023-2024 Champions League group stage draw, it has been made and it has been set after Manchester City defeated Inter Milan 1-0 in Istanbul. Let's look at the Ports one. We've got Manchester City, Sevilla, Barcelona, Napoli, Bayern, Paris Saint-Germain, Benfica, and Feyenoord. Remember, Sevilla being champions of the Europa League. Port 2 has Real Madrid, Manchester United, Inter Milan, Borussia Dortmund, Atletico Madrid, RB Leipzig, FC Porto, and Arsenal. Port 3 has got Shakhtar Donetsk, FC Salzburg, AC Milan, Lazio, Red Star Belgrade. Now, 4 teams with lowest coefficients are sure of being in Port 4 for the draw. And for the Port 4, Celtic, Newcastle, Union Berlin, and Lens. We'll talk more in extra time, right, about this, the ports. Same as how the draws would surely look like. Now let's talk about transfers this morning. Osem Oar has signed for AS Roma. The Algerian international, beg your pardon, signed a 5-year deal with Jose Mourinho's side, arriving on a free transfer from Ligue 1 side Lyon. Remember, Oar at a point in time was being touted to move to Arsenal some seasons ago, but now is a Roma player. Well, it's likely that Wilfried Zaha will be moving to the French League on, as PSG reportedly made initial contact with the Ivorian in a bid to sign him ahead of next season. Well, we're saying another update here. Ruben Loftus-Cheek's move to AC Milan is reportedly in doubt, with the Italian team having second thoughts due to the midfielder's age. Well, talking about Leicester City being relegated, a lot of players will surely be leaving. Remember, like 7 players got announced last week that will be leaving the Foxes. Now, Newcastle are currently leading Tottenham in the race to sign Leicester's James Maddison. Both clubs are interested in signing the attacking midfielder who has only a year left on his contract this summer. Well, talking about a movement to Saudi Arabia, it's not only about the players, but also managers eyeing a move to that side. Or maybe the board right in Saudi eyeing managers from England or Europe. Steven Gerrard is considering an offer to become coach of Saudi club Al Ettifaq. The former Liverpool captain left his role as coach of Aston Villa last October after a run of bad results. Well, we are not having bad results on the show this morning. It is cold outside, also cold in here. We'll move straight to the other side of the show when we look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. Remember, Democracy Day speech by President Bola Tinubu will also be looked at this morning. My name is Oladakwa Kunubi. Let's say keep doing sports and stay safe.
All about information, education, and entertainment.
Maybe that's before now. Solutions 93.9 FM has raised the standard of radio broadcast to preferring solutions in all human angle. 939 FM, the remedy. A caro ni lubano. Solutions 93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
30 years ago, there was a political shift in the system of operation and system of government of our union that marks today being the Democracy Day for Nigerians. And 30 years after, the question bothering the minds of Nigerians would be if we're now enjoying the dividends of democracy. These and more we would be addressing this morning as we commemorate Democracy Day right here in Nigeria. Welcome to From the Dailies. My name is Victory Richard.
All right, my name is Oladapo Okunubi. Good morning, Nigerians, and welcome to AM Update. That's the first edition for this week, and it's the Democracy Day edition. Well, earlier this morning, President Bola Tinubu had his first
address.
Yeah, televised address as the president of the nation. Also talking about the successes, of and the plans of late MK Abiola, which is also trying to, toe that line. He spoke about the announcement of the subsidy removal, the pains Nigerians are going through, and he believes that it's going to be a light. There's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. Also talking about the unity of Nigerians. Well, you asked the question if we are really benefiting from the dividends of democracy. But another question is, how many years can we spend to say that we're matured enough to start, reaping the benefits of democracy? President Tinubu also said something that the decision of announcing, the subsidy removal was to also make all Nigerians benefit, because the subsidy was being benefited by few rich. We listened to President Tinubu this morning. How about you? Welcome to the show.
Yes, be reminded that we're streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube at Solutions 939 FM. So do well to jump on the platform, like, comment, share. We want you to also share your thoughts. As a Nigerian, do you think that democracy is what we are experiencing in the country right now? And have you benefited from the dividends of democracy 30 years after the significant shift that happened in 1993? Also, we're taking calls and messages for WhatsApp and regular text. Do send us messages to 0904 422 2939. For calls when the lines are opened, you can call in through 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. Let's get right into the papers.
Is all about information, education, and entertainment.
Maybe that's before now. Solutions 93.9 FM has raised the standard of radio broadcast to preferring solutions in all human angle. 939 FM, the remedy.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Alright, let's begin with the Vanguard newspaper this morning, starting with the story. 30 years after June 12th anniversary, shocking revelation. What Nigerians must know about the plot. 103 decrees established in 1993. Security chief stand neck chairman. These and more you can find on page 17 of the Nigerian Vanguard newspaper. To the biggest story on the Vanguard, use June 12 as lesson to drive Nigeria's development. Edwin Clark, IBB, Atiku, Obi, Ghana, and others speaks to this regard. Read up on that story on page 5. Don't take democracy for granted, Tinubu warns. Failed transaction. Banks orders, trade blames as customers persist in agony. Find that story on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. And now to fuel subsidy. School owners groan, seek government assistance. Find that story on page 9. And now to business. Economic uncertainties. Insecurity drive up life insurance. Read up on that story on page 22. NMDPRA accuses ExxonMobil of oil theft. Find that story on page 12. And now to the 10th. NOS plots to stop Yari Tickens as more senators back his ambition. Read up on that on page 10. And now to sport. Djokovic seals record 23 Grand Slam title. You can find that story on page 31. These are the stories on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper.
Okay, going straight to the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning with the cap headlines. The presidency backs Christian Senate President Betara Gade stepped down. Over $56 billion lost to all theft subsidy advisory panel. And the pocket headline, DSS seizes Emefiele's passport. Plans home office search. Page 9 of Punch has a story. And to another headline here that could have been, that looks like the banner headline before the advertorial. Democracy Day. Tinubu hails MQ Abiola. Promises to ease subsidy removal pains. How? Well, there's an advertorial that says could stop CFCC, ICPC, DSS from arresting Yari. And there's a quote from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Says our administration shall consult and dialogue but never dictate. Nigeria will be impartially governed according to the Constitution and the rule of law. Get a copy of Punch newspaper this morning for more stories.
Alright, away from the Punch, let's now move over to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Your sacrifice shall not be in vain, Tinubu tells Nigerians in first broadcast, says Abiola, Kudirat and others would not go without receiving dividends. Yar'Adua silence for democracy by military junta. More stories from the Nigerian Tribune. Race for speakership. Bitara Gardi steps down for Abbas Kalu. Alright, these are the stories on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. There seem to be a lot of advertorials this morning.
Alright, going straight to the Nation newspaper this morning. Emefiele's exit and the fireworks before suspension. You saw that video trending over the weekend, right? My Nigerian Air story by ex-minister Sirika. I've been listening to the interview since yesterday. And right after that headline says, Ministry got only 3 billion naira. Lawmaker, 5% equity claim, a lie. Okay. Another headline here. Shetima's last-minute push swings the support for Akpabio, Abbas. 3 riders to this headline. Betara, Gadi quit race. We have 72 senators elect with us. Yari's group hopeful. Red headline from the Nation newspaper this morning. Manufacturers' capacity utilization drops to 49% on high energy costs. Banner headline, June 12. Why we must defend our democracy by Tinubu. Riders to this headline. Expect better deal from me. Judicial reform has started. Abiola's sacrifice should not be in vain. And we have the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning where President Bola Tinubu with Rep Yusuf Gadi, that is Gagdi, yes, to the presidential villa ahead of today's inauguration of, that is ahead of tomorrow's inauguration of the 10th National Assembly. I mean, a lot of drama has gone in and out. Some are not willing to step down, most especially from the Senate. But for the rep, it's like now they're understanding themselves. The last set of headlines here. Subsidy palliatives. More buses for Oyo State. Free ride for pupils in Kwara. And let me add one from my side here. I think it's in Vanguard. Free Wi-Fi for civil servants in Edo State. Okay. All right, this and more we look at this morning. And remember, it's also still Democracy Day. And earlier this morning, at 7 o'clock, President Bola Tinubu had the Democracy Day address. And he spoke on the judicial process spoke about late MK Abiola, also talking about the pains of the subsidy removal.
About poverty, it is a man-made problem that can be eliminated with clearly thought out social and economic policies. It is for this reason that in my inauguration address on May 29, I gave effect to the decision taken by my predecessor in office to remove the fuel subsidy, the albatross, and free up the collective use of much needed resources, which had hitherto been pocketed by a few rich. I admit the decision will impose extra burden on the masses of our people. I feel your pain. This is one decision we must bear to save our country from going under and take our resources away from the stranglehold of a few unpatriotic elements. Painfully, I have asked you, my compatriots, to sacrifice a little more for the survival of our country. For your trust and belief in us, I assure you that your sacrifice shall not be in vain. The government I lead will repay you through massive investment in transportation, infrastructure, education, regular power supply, healthcare, and other public utilities that will improve the quality of lives. The democracy MK Abiola died for is one that promotes the welfare of the people over personal interests of the ruling class, and one where the governed can find personal fulfillment and happiness. That is the hope MK Abiola ignited throughout our country in 1993.
The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria speaking there, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his first address to Nigerians as we commemorate the Democracy Day. Alright, joining us this morning for analysis is Comrade Olu Omotosho, and he'll be speaking to some of the questions bothering the minds of Nigerians as we have also looked through the papers this morning. Good morning to you, Comrade.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nigerian.
Okay, thank you very much, Comrade.
Happy Democracy Day to all.
Yeah,
best wishes to you.
Same here. Okay, so let's go straight to, let's start with the speech this morning coming from Mr. President. He spoke a lot about what happened June 12, the electoral process. But maybe let's quickly go straight, most especially what is burning in Nigeria about the subsidy removal. He spoke about the pains Nigerians are going through, and that the decision was to take what a few Nigerians are enjoying. I mean, talking about the few rich, they are the ones enjoying from the subsidy, and that there would be, there's going to be flow of honey and milk for Nigerians at the end of the day. With everything, President Tinubu, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're back.
Okay, all right. So with everything President Tinubu said this morning, I mean, what will we be expecting after the subsidy removal? Like, how many months can we give this administration for Nigerians to start enjoying? Because he said he also feels the pain of Nigerians.
Yeah, I think the president highlighted some, or if not most, of the problems that Nigerians are facing, that we are facing now as citizens of this country as a result of the subsidy removal. Now, of course, we will have to forgive him, some of his colleagues who have made it very, very impossible, who have made it impossible to have, for us to have put the days and get done with it earlier than we are doing now. I remember before the advent of this predecessor, before Buhari came in, Jonathan made attempts to remove this oil subsidy, and it was resisted. And as a matter of fact, he was a very, very active figure, a very strong factor that made it impossible then for the subsidy to be removed. But thank God now that we got to know, and it goes to show that sometimes when people speak during electionary campaign, when politicians come to us and tell us, when we get to government, this is what we're going to do. I mean, it calls for us to do more interrogation of whatever they are saying than just take it and without questioning at all. Now, I want to say that most of them will need to get to power to really understand what happens and what plays out there. So, but now it has happened now. I have once said it also. This subsidy removal, like most people have had and have been saying it's just the subsidy is a scam. There is nothing more than that. And yes, if we are being told the truth, for instance, they are telling us that we use Nigerians now that locally we use between 60 and 100 million liters of fuel per day locally. I mean, for God's sake, that's outrageous. I don't think in Nigeria with the level of, with the volume of cars and all that, I don't think we can use more than 40 liters of fuel per day. That's just, and I'm sure that's even more than we are spending. So, but I want to encourage all of us. In the speech of the president today, he highlighted a lot of things that points to the fact that he's going to give us, that we're going to get a better administration, that Nigeria is going to get better. But then, I just want to encourage us not to look at him with the prism of the last administration, so that we don't look at him and consider him as part of the past administration and lose hope and not expect for us to get better things, because when we get to that point, that is whatever he does, we will not, we won't see it as anything positive. And if we don't see it as being positive, then it most likely will not give us the kind of expectation that we have of him. So I encourage all of us that yes, we are starting a new administration, like he said, and yes, though he was part of the administration that passed, but he said he's starting a new one. So let's give him that chance. Let's give him the benefit of doubt.
All right.
I'm sure, according to him, and some of the things that he has been saying, that we have been hearing, within the next 6 months, we should be able to judge him and to assess him to know whether he's truly saying what he.
Comrade, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fair enough. So, Comrade, let's move on. In retrospect to what happened 3 decades ago without democracy, stating MK Abiola's situation, would you say, by your judgment, Nigerians are now enjoying the dividends of democracy, judging from 30 years ago down to this moment? We've had several democratically elected presidents and public office holders. In your judgment, would you say that we are indeed practicing democracy and enjoying the dividends that lies therein?
Well, I think as a watcher of the happenings in this country, Nigerians have not really have taste of the dividend of democracy at all. And the reason is that the few privileged ones, the few privileged Nigerians that are there, are the people that are preventing Nigerians to really enjoy the dividends of democracy. Now, some time ago, we were having when this started this new republic, hope were high that things will get better. Now, those of us, those Nigerians that are old enough to experience what obtained during the military era, will want to say that Nigeria is better now because at least we have some level of freedom, which of course the outgone administration now, the immediate past administration, attempted to seize or to steal away from us. Now, if that has been like that, of course we can say at that time, in the time of military, you cannot stand out to say to speak out, just like we are saying now. You can't stand out and come and say you are an activist or that you are a public affairs analyst and say things against a government and all that without you getting punished for it. A lot of the creeds were there then. Now we don't have that now. But even now we still struggle to hear our voice too. I just hope that this new administration will change that. Now, when it comes to amenities that government is supposed to provide for the people. Now, what we have, the last administration inherited the railway project from the past, from Goodluck Jonathan. And of course, they made it up to a certain level. And of course, they started running. Now, we can say, before this democratic settings, we didn't have things like that. We have the Nigerian Railway running then. But it was the politicians that killed it. So, and after that, they said they wanted to revive it. They did. But insecurity has made it almost, practically impossible for people to really go there and enjoy it. Because before now, people would think that the safest means of travel of transportation is railway. Because of course it moves on. That it's not. We don't have too many of it. So the head-on collision and accident is reduced and all that. The airspace is not safe, and the roads are not safe. You get kidnapped, and then a lot of accidents due to bad roads and all that. But even the railway system too is not safe now. We've witnessed a couple of kidnaps and all that and hijacks. So it shows clearly. And when you go to the market, you look at things, the prices of things in the market. It's nothing to write home about. Now, what are the workers saying? What are they getting? What's the take-home pay of an average worker in Nigeria? The take-home pay of an average worker in Nigeria today is not enough. It's not enough to sustain. To sustain people, two people, to sustain a couple. Forget about, not talking about them having children now. It's not enough to sustain a couple for a month, and yet would brag about it that the government is paying. And even the 30,000 naira we are talking about, we have less than 15 states paying it, and some are not even paying it. It will surprise you to know that in some states in Nigeria today, workers, the minimum wage is still 18,000 naira. As we speak. So when you look at things like that, where is the health facility? Where is the health facility? Even those that are supposed to, provide it for us, that we voted in for them to give us all of these things, they get out. This medical, they go out anytime they have, even if they have headaches, they get out of Nigeria and all that. They are not giving us what we need. Look at the level of education. Look, the whole thing has been bastardized. For more than 8 months, the university students were home, and then we have a government in place. So when you look at all of this, you want to say that a democracy that was supposed to be a blessing to us is fast becoming, and they are making it to become an aberration.
Okay.
The dividend of democracy, we have not really enjoyed it. I just hope this new administration will change it.
Okay, let us be hopeful, and let's go straight to a lot that happened over the weekend. The DSS arrest of former CBN governor, that is Gordon Emefiele. Can we call him former CBN governor?
He's not, because there's been debates that constitutionally the president doesn't have a right to
DSS has no right to investigate Emefiele, that it should be they should be
Falana
forwarded
said
to EFCC.
EFCC.
That is according to Femi Falana. Now let's look at that this morning. Remember, we were discussing about Emefiele. Comrade, can you remember when I said that a lot of Nigerians are saying that maybe Emefiele should be fired by Mr. President? And, you know, this happened over the weekend. He was arrested, taken to DSS. But Femi Falana is saying this, I mean, DSS doesn't have the power to question Emefiele. That should be the job of EFCC.
Neither does the president to remove him from office either.
I think, yes. Trevor Falana is a lawyer. He's a legal luminary. He really understands what the law says there. But to me, as an activist and as a watcher of the current affairs in this country today, I think apart from Emefiele, apart from him being sacked or being asked to step aside, or whatever way, I think it should not be not just being investigated, but it should be thrown into prison. So there is nobody that made Nigeria weep, that made Nigeria shed tears like Emefiele since we started this democratic experiment. Everybody felt it. Now, government is not doing this, government is not doing that, and all that. It's not everybody that felt it. It's not felt by everybody. But Emefiele threw the whole country into agony. Everybody, even the local men, the rural men, the rural people in the jungle, they felt it. Everybody was crying. Now, can you remember the number of people that died during this period because of this nonsensical cash shop that he said he wants to be doing? And today, if you go to the bank now, if they give you 20,000 naira in the bank, you hardly see 2 new notes there. That's a scam. Now, I think it should be grilled, if not for because we have we have the law and due process and all that. Something.
Comrade, are you there? Hello,
Comrade. But the network seemed to be funny.
Responsible as well. And this is guy Syria, a man that calmed us, went and borrowed an aircraft from somewhere and brought it and landed in Nigeria air. And within 48 hours, that plane disappeared. And the next time it came with the original label of the owners. When you look at things like that, if we really need to get our things, we need to get our act right. I think the president started right now, the way he is going about it. But let's see.
I would have loved to. To hear.
And it should be made to refund every money, every penny that he has spent. I can't imagine. Look at the staggering amount that he said he used to print the money he printed.
The new notes.
And the money he printed were not even available. We can see. So I think, in this country, a lot of sacrifices must be done to play that these people have done.
Okay.
And if it is not done, if this president Tinubu did not do the right thing now, a problem will be a wrong center, and then it will become more difficult for us to sanitize our policy after him.
Okay, now talking about the scam and doing the right thing. Looking at Adi Sirika, he was on live TV yesterday, trying to give his own side of the story about the failed Nigerian Air, or the Air Nigeria.
I can hear you. Okay.
Can you hear me, comrade?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So, Adi Sirika was live on TV yesterday, and there was a rumor last week that Adi Sirika has also been fired. He has been ordered to be investigated as well. But it was you would call that fake news. But Adi Sidika was alive on TV, and he also accused the lawmakers of requesting 5% from Air Nigeria deal. Are we not? I mean, and we still have the same set of lawmakers who will be making a return to the Green Chambers. Are we not still seeing a set of some set of people who will be like a stumbling block to this government?
Yeah, you see, sometimes you are tempted to want to believe that corruption is an inbuilt thing into a system, because when you look at every sector of our policy, of our livelihood, has this stamp of corruption on it. Now, the lawmakers were there. Now, people just want to take advantage. Want to take advantage of things. When you see something, the legal lacuna, they see a lacuna in our law, and they want to take advantage of it to their own benefit and to the detriment of the finality of the people. Now, the lawmakers have this oversight function over ministries and parastatals and all that. And of course, what they use them for is to amass wealth to themselves.
Okay.
The accusation that Adi Sidika is ascribing to them now is not new. We've had that. We know about budget planning and all that. But whether they ask him anything, if they ask you and you give it, both of you are competent. Because when they ask you, why didn't you reject? And if you reject, and you reject, or why don't you make to the appropriate quotas? So that means he knows that, okay, because they have asked, so I will do my own too. So when they ask me, I will say, yes, these people also ask. Is a question of saying, okay, yes, if you call me a thief, yes, I'm not a thief. I'm not the only one that is stealing. These other people are stealing too. So all of them should be made to face, the law. But then,
well, the network is a bit.
I keep saying I have this belief that Tinubu will do something better. Now, and that is going through some of the things that he had done in the past as governor of Lagos State. And because he belonged also to a circle. He fought for democracy. He's a pro-democracy personality, and a very strong one. And I believe so. He has also been calling for restructuring and all that. And some of these things we are talking, the reason why we are calling for restructuring at that time, why that call started, was because of misrule and because of some things that are going on that some of us felt that it shouldn't continue like that. So I want to believe that he will look at that too. He has a lot of things to do. And this country, we must begin to take deterrent action so that it was because that was not done in the past. Now, we were talking about MENA some time ago. What happened to MENA till today? Now, we see a lot of people, when they do things and they are not questioned, they are not punished. There is no, of course, other people would take clue from that after all, when A did it, nothing was done. Yeah. So when I do it today, though, I will be able to, I'll be able to have my way. So I think these are some of the things that should be looked at. But we should continue to pray. It's not prayer alone, because God will not come down here to do it. But then, we must have belief. Let's support this president and see what he can do. But one thing I know, and I was discussing with some people yesterday, one thing I know, they told me that, is it because he's a Yoruba man we are supporting? I told him, I said, Yoruba is the most difficult people to govern. If he does the right thing, of course, he will receive accolades. But if he misstep, if he take the wrong step, the Yoruba people will be the one that will be his albatross. And that's the way it should be. Let's hope he does the right thing, and so that the country will get better for all of us. And the unborn generation will see something to inherit.
Yes, indeed. Fingers crossed. We will be optimistic and hope for a better Nigeria. We must say thank you to you, Comrade Olu Omotosho, for being a part of the program this morning. We appreciate your in-depth analysis.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, Comrade Olu Omotosho is a public affairs analyst, also a labor member. Well, let's go straight and check some reactions this morning.
Yes, of course. You can be a part of the conversation by calling into the studio 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. We're also live on Facebook as well as YouTube at Solutions939FM. Tweet at us at Solutions939. We'll be reading a couple of messages as we look forward to receiving your calls. So let's start with Twitter. All right, let's begin with taking calls and messages. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Adi from UI.
Great to have you.
The reason for today is about Chief M.K. Abiola. And I've been telling people the way I celebrate today is to pray for a family. Because if a family loses an illustrious son, they are the ones to bear the cost. Some people demand sacrifice life for some wrong leaders for one man. That's Umar Yar'Adua. The rest of them have been, if all of them have the kind of vision like M.K. Abiola has, all of us, Nigeria would have been a better place to live. The person that had it was Umar Yar'Adua. It was Yar'Adua that exposed these wrong leaders. If not because of Yar'Adua, we would have not known that a liter of fuel could be reduced from 25 to 65. All of them would have been claiming, giving you wrong theory that someone like me that I understand that is lying. A leader like Abiola will have removed subsidy, and a liter of fuel will still have not gone beyond 150 naira. That is a leader. So the man has sacrificed his life for people that have come to amass wealth for their families. All of them, they use his name to defraud and scam Nigerians. Look at even the person that named today, that changed the celebration today. Even the one that hijacked democratic government from Ishagari, and he hijacked it without giving him attention. Can you imagine? If somebody who hijacked democracy is giving us who is fooling who. And look at the way he destroyed Nigeria for 8 years. Look at the way he destroyed it. So the bottom line is that let us, as we are celebrating today, let's pray for two leaders. Let's pray for Umar Yar'Adua family. Let's pray for M.K. Abiola family. Those are the two leaders that are deserving. All of them, they are 419, they are 419. They are just using the name to defraud us, including the NLC. Let's have the best of today.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your comments this morning. 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. Remember to tweet at us at Solutions939FM, on Twitter at Solutions939FM. On Facebook, it is Solutions939FM.
All right, let's look at a couple of messages this morning, reacting to some of the stories we've addressed already. All right, I begin with this comment. I like President Tinubu. He didn't just sack Emefiele immediately. He allowed things to settle down before yanking him off. He's the worst CBN governor in Nigeria's modern era with ill-thought policies. Another message here says, Emefiele deserves more than jail term for all the pains and agony he has cost Nigerians. I hope he faced the full wrath of the law. Another message here from Bale says, this is no surprise to me. I was actually waiting for Emefiele to receive the punishment of getting off office and going to prison. I hope all these and more becomes his predicament. It's okay. Nigerians are really not excited about this new development. All right, another message here from Iabo says, I knew this from the onset that it was going to happen. For someone who contested or who filed to contest for presidency, he even visited.
Please go ahead.
He even visited President Tinubu. What was he expecting? A handshake? This is just the beginning of what is about to happen to him. All right, keep your messages coming to Solutions939FM on Twitter. Let's look at some messages as we spoke about the commemoration of Democracy Day. Nigerians reacting. All right, this is a comment from Wally, and he says, the best part of President Tinubu's speech is, I have asked you, my compatriots, to sacrifice a little more for the survival of our country. My question is, he is also a compatriot such as other public office holders. When would they sacrifice for the polity? Let's take this call. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
To you.
Wow, Wisila, thank you for joining us.
It's been a minute.
Happy Democracy Day. I mean, it's public holiday, so.
So we are told.
Okay, let's go.
Look, they need every of our forces need to intervene. The army, the military, the civil defense, the police, CNC, CICPC, all of them to sit in down. He has so many things to tell us. He has a lot of things to tell us. So I think his case is beyond EFCC alone. And concerning the speech of our president that they feel afraid, I don't think they really feel afraid because the lady speech of the wife doesn't speak swallow. You remember she told us that they don't need our money, they are rich. That's why sometimes you need to weigh your words. We appreciate it, like your analyst has said. All you need to do is just to please for him so that it makes a difference in this situation. And we have to get that like that. That's our prayer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wisila from LALE. Do we have any comments as we wrap up this morning?
Yes. Julie says, very commendable speech by President Tinubu. However, must concede that President was eloquent, displayed fluidity of thought, and a good command in the issue he addressed.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning to you.
I'm sorry, you have to call back because the network is bad.
If you can. All right, another message here from Tayo says, the same suffering Buhari begged us. Tinubu is also begging us to sacrifice again. I am tired of politicians always asking us to make the sacrifice. How about they cut the cost that they receive and the luxurious life that they go about living? They live in affluence while we live in abject poverty. Things has to change. Another message here from Ola Williams. He says, Democracy Day but doesn't feel like it. Okay, I'll have to stop that comment there.
All right, check our time right now. This is 9:16. I will move to the other side of AM Update this morning to Solutions Clinic, where we talk health this morning. So, Victor, what are we looking at this morning?
Also, we're looking at prevention, treatment, or infection, prevention and control, IPC for short is what they call it. So there are a lot of infections out there, particularly even in the hospitals where people go for, health checks and to, safeguard themselves. People get infection from hospitals. The hospital is a very prone area to people coming down with infections as such. So this morning we're going to be addressing that and more as we look at that angle of health.
Okay, well, remember, AM Update makes a return next week. That's next week, but tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Kiko Sports Show, 8 o'clock. And headlines and pages of Nigerian newspaper by 8:30. My name is Oladapo Kunubi.
My name is Victor Richard. I'll be back shortly.
is agony deep in my heart. A broken melody waiting to be sung. And I'm longing for much more than I have. Then I say, no need to worry, I know all will be fine. When my heart is down, I like to sing. I like to think about the good times I've had. Beautiful memories that bring joy to my heart. Then I say, no need to worry, I know all will be well. I like to think that life is in phases. I give my all for life and that gets me going. A little gloomy now, the sun will soon shine. So I say, no need to worry, I know all will be well. It go better, 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 it go better. One day, it go better. I'm his masterpiece, a work in progress. This is not the end, it's only the beginning. A little drizzle now, the sun goes sunshine. So I say, no need to worry, I know all will be fine. One day, I will share testimony about the good Lord, change my story. It picked me from the mud and placed me underground. So I say, no need to worry, I know all will be fine. Oh, it go better, 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 oh, it go better, one day, it go better. It's gonna be better, better, better. It's gonna be better, better, better. It'll change my story. One day, you will share your story. Wipe your tears, oh, it will all be okay. There's no need to worry, you will be fine. You don't have to worry, you will be fine. One day, you will share your story. Wipe your tears, oh, it will all be okay. There's no need to worry, you will be fine. You don't have to worry, you will be fine.
Radio is all about information, education, and entertainment.
Maybe that's before now. Solutions 93.9 FM has raised the standard of radio broadcast to preferring solutions in all human angle. 939 FM, the remedy.
Hi everyone, my name is Olumide Obatui. I'm a medical doctor, and I'm here to tell you that hepatitis is real, it's around us, but the diagnosis of hepatitis is not a death sentence. So stay safe, and please keep listening to Solutions Clinic on Solutions 93.9 FM. Thank you.
According to the World Food Programme, globally, malnourished mothers give birth to as many as 17 million underweight infants per year. An undernourished girl will become an undernourished mother and give birth to an undernourished child. Break this cycle. Get nourished. Keep listening to Solutions Clinic on Solutions 93.9 FM. I am Ifeoluwa Bodunde, a registered dietitian nutritionist.
My name is Olatoye Ujo Baba Funke, LGA Supervisor for Breakthrough Action Nigeria TB Intervention. Tuberculosis is real. Everyone is at a risk of contracting tuberculosis. So, my sister, please check that cough. My brother, check that cough. Check the night sweat. Check that weight loss. TB testing and treatment is free at any primary health center. So please save your life and save the lives of those around you. Keep listening to Solutions Clinic on Solutions 93.9 FM. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lydia Kioma and I'm a formulator. Ways to have a great skin. First, know your skin type. When you know your skin type, you'll know the kind of products to use. Then build a routine. It's important you build a routine. By that, I mean cleanse your skin, moisturize, exfoliate, and protect your skin. And lastly, drink water. People say drink water and mind your business, but really, you have to drink water so your skin is hydrated. That way, you have a great skin. Keep listening to Solutions Clinic on 93.9 Solutions FM. Thank you.
Alright, a beautiful morning to you. From all of us at the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9, exactly 24 minutes gone past 9. Welcome to Solutions Clinic, where we get to talk about everything and anything health. I hope you had a great weekend, and I do believe you've continually made your health a priority. Like I would always say, a healthy life is your ticket to a wealthy life. Welcome to the show. My name is Victory Richard. Alright, be reminded that we're streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube at Solutions 939, so jump in on the platform in case you have questions regarding the subject we would be addressing or speaking about today. I did mention earlier that this morning we're going to be talking about how to prevent infection in the body. By way of introduction, Infection Prevention and Control, otherwise known as IPC, is a practical evidence-based approach to prevent patients and health workers from being harmed by avoidable infection. Principles of infection prevention and control are relevant to every health worker and patient at every healthcare interaction all over the world. Ignoring these principles could cause harm and can kill. For instance, washing hands after using the bathroom is one primary way to avoid the transfer of germs. According to the WHO, the occurrence of adverse events due to unsafe care are among the 10 leading causes of death and disability in the world. Without effective IPC, it's impossible, to achieve quality health care. Joining me this morning to talk about prevention of infection in the body is Dr. Chukwuma Okoli. It's great to have you join us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, and good morning all listeners.
Yes, happy Democracy Day.
Yeah, thank you, same here.
All right. So let's begin the conversation this morning with the basic guidelines for infection prevention and control for both patients and health workers, because it may seem as though little or no attention is given to these with regards to our practices daily.
Okay. Thank you. Prevention of infection. First, what is infection?
Great.
What infects, or what are the things that we can call an infection? Okay. Infection is when organisms invade the body system. These organisms most times are called microbials, meaning they are very tiny, very small, and they invade the system, get either on the skin or in the blood or in organs of the body. They could be bacterial, they could be viral, they could be fungal, they could be parasites, and a whole lot of others. In 2019 December, everybody heard of when the coronavirus invaded the human body system, killing thousands upon thousands of people around the globe, including Nigeria. All right. Now, that was a viral infection. Of course, we all know about the commonest in Africa, what people call typhoid today, caused by Salmonella typhi, a bacteria. Okay. And many of us, at one point or the other, would have experienced what is called whitlow, okay, or the nail suddenly starts going black.
Okay, whitlow is an infection.
Yeah, of course.
That's a revelation to me.
Okay, so many of us have experienced whitlow, and the nail suddenly becomes black and removed, and then you are told it's a fungal infection, mycosis. Okay, that is fungal infection. So these are the area, and of course, how about the most common thing that causes ailment in Africa? Malaria, caused by the larva from the female Anopheles mosquito, that is Plasmodium falciparum. Though most people will call that infestation in the medical field and say infestation. Kind of. So that's caused by the Plasmodium falciparum, which infects the red blood cells and then will incubate inside of it, get broken down. The blood cell gets broken down and millions of the parasites are released into the bloodstream. That is how people get malaria. So these are various forms of infection. So now when you want to talk about how to prevent infection, principles of prevention, okay, you start by, first, it's a prevention. What do? You do safe living practice. Practice living safe. In this part of the world, you want to prevent malaria, how do you do it? For instance, in this studio, I am quite sure that there might not be, or even if there is, it might not last any mosquito parasite because it doesn't have anywhere to go, it doesn't have anybody to feed on.
Yeah.
There might not be people here in hours, probably overnight or something, and it might just die out of starvation. So what do? You try to cordon off your house with mosquito nets. Now, people still get beaten despite the mosquito nets. Why? The mosquito perches on the door. You open the door, they go in with you. Fine. In your bedroom, there should be a mosquito net. Insecticide-treated mosquito net. Okay, so what are you expected to do? Use it around the bed. Then you can also spray the room some minutes before you go to bed. So basically, you have done all that needs to be done to prevent a bite of the mosquito. And that way, you can live without having malaria. It's that simple. You want to talk about infection that comes from food? Then you eat healthy. From water, you drink potable water, clean water. Yes. And then you mind what you eat. When the fruit is overripe or is already turning brownish, you avoid taking such. You cook your foods well. You avoid some basic types of meals that may contain worms of parasites. Fish worm, dog worm, hookworm, pinworm, name it. All right, so these are basic principles that you can adapt to avoiding all these infections, at least for a start.
Fair enough. But we've also seen people who live by these principles and practices, and they go to the hospital and they get infected.
Yes, sir.
Because of how porous the health system is, or how the hospitals can be. You're more likely to get infected through that medium. From a health worker to a patient, from a patient to a health worker. So what should be done to mitigate this? Because it's very common, not just here in Africa, it's a global phenomenon.
Yes, it is global. And that's why we keep preaching that everybody should abide by certain rules given out. When you get to the hospital, I think now most times the patient doesn't spend any extra time. I don't know if that makes sense.
Extra time in what?
You get to the hospital, once you are attended to, what else are you doing around the hospital?
For patients that were admitted.
Right. Now for those who are admitted, that is where the advice comes to the health workers. The unfortunate thing is that many of the health workers may not even be listening. They're busy on their phones, their laptops, they're sleeping, or they're at work. And when all these things are pasted all over, they don't even spend time to read. A lot of health messages are posted on various WhatsApp groups across the globe. They don't even spend time to read. Videos are posted on staying safe. They won't even spend time to go through them. And it's one thing to be busy, it's another thing to be intentional about staying healthy.
Absolutely.
And about keeping your environment healthy enough for your patients. You see, everything comes down to the training that we got while in school. But after the school training, you have to train yourself to abide by what you have been taught. And so you make sure, now, once you are responsible for someone, then you walk towards it. If I admit a patient on my bed now, then everything around that patient becomes my responsibility. All I think about is the well-being of the patient. All I think about is how this patient will be fine. And so I make sure if this patient is receiving intravenous medications, I make sure that I check the hygiene of the patient, the hygiene around where the patient is, the cannula and all that is being used. In the place where we work, we discard things once we use. Use and discard, that's the rule. No matter what it is, syringe, needle, giving set, all those plastics, the metals have their safe box where they are discarded. And so you see quite a lot of waste emanating because of safety. And I believe everyone should practice this. Despite the fact that there are a lot of complaints about cost of running, cost of this, cost of that. Yes, but when it gets to the point where you need to be attended to, I think everything should be made available. There are a lot of things to talk about in this regard. A lot of healthcare workers find themselves in situations where they don't even have adequate things to work with, as common as needles, syringe, cotton wool, plaster, spirit, gloves are not available. Some have to buy themselves to make their work easy. I've seen a doctor going to work and then she carried a pack of gloves, syringes, needles, cotton wool, spirit, plaster, and I'm like, Doc, what's all that for? He said, me, I can't wait to... when I see the patient and I need to do one or two things, I can't be waiting. Sometimes you ask them to buy, you want to examine them, they'll tell you they don't have money. You just do what you have to do, document, and pass the bulk to the next station. So there are a lot of issues involved in this infection of a thing, whether happening in the hospital. In fact, worse is even happening in various homes. You see the condition where people live, you shake your head. You get into some houses, you hold your breath. Yes, people are living in deplorable condition. Subsidy was removed without a cushion. As I was coming here, I was paying attention to the message and all that from the presidency and all. And I just kept mute. Because all promises are promises. If you don't meet up with them, they still remain promises.
Absolutely.
You remove the subsidy without cushioning the effect first that it should have on the common man. And you make the vulcanizer buy petrol at 500 naira. What he used to buy at 190 or 200, he now buys at 500. That means the cost of vulcanizing, should it now go up by 2.5 times?
Of course, that's what will happen.
Yes, and then you make the woman who grinds tomato in the market to buy petrol at 500. That means, should the cost of grinding tomato now go up by 2.5 times? Everything that runs as business would need petrol one way or the other, unless you're an internet person. Even if you're an internet person, you will still need
electricity
and petrol to run your gen. For days now, we've not even seen light. And this morning I woke up, I was just pissed off. Like, I just had to send a message to a WhatsApp group where the PHCN officers are. I'm like, well, how do I relate with this? Subsidy out, no light. How do we go on with that? There are lots of things involved in this country. Surviving is actually a battle now.
God help us. Well, let's talk. I understand that, we have people, the poor and vulnerable, living in very deplorable states. However, what of the practices that, we can even embrace that we necessarily do not? I'm talking about some hygienes. I mentioned earlier about washing of hands. It is not something that we are very intentional about here in Nigeria. People go into the toilet and they feel, there's no point. Since maybe the urine did not touch my hand.
Mhm.
What's the need washing my hands? And what they forget is these germs are not what we can see with this natural eyes.
Very well.
So let's talk about some of these hygienes that we don't really practice.
Thank you. These are hygienes that the government will do for you.
Truthfully.
These are hygienes that subsidy doesn't have any control over. So while we talk about the government and theirs, let's talk about what concerns us.
Absolutely.
How would you visit a convenience and not wash? Sometimes you could get there and there is no water. Okay. Now, during the COVID, people went around with hand sanitizers. They became, after oxygen, I think spirit and hand sanitizer was the next thing people breathe.
Yeah.
So, please, listeners, where are your hand sanitizers? Where have you dropped them? Please make it a lifestyle. Pick them up. If you're a woman, you remember to take your lip gloss. Remember to take your wipes. Please remember to take your hand sanitizers across. So once you use your convenience, just put a hand sanitizer and wash your hand and clean up your hands. Because if you don't get water to wash, though the best is soap and water, but in the absence of it, apply your hand sanitizers. And the next place you get water, you can wash and reapply. That way you keep yourself safe, because like my brother here said, those bacteria, you can't see them. This minute, you are thinking, wow, okay, and then your hand goes over your lips. And then you are busy thinking, and the next minute you shake hands with another person, you've passed the bulk. And then you even you did exchange, trade by barter. You are carrying Salmonella typhi.
Oh, it's even transferred.
Yes. You are carrying Salmonella typhi. He is carrying Pseudomonas aeruginosa. And then you guys shake, and then you know.
Collect from each other.
And then you carry it, and then you still rub your lips,
Lord
rub
have
your face,
mercy.
and then dip your hand in your nose, and everything goes into your body. And then in the evening, you start running the temperature. And then the next thing you say is, that doctor did not treat me well. That doctor did not treat me well. This doctor did not. Meanwhile, you just contracted bacteria. I mean, these are the trends that we've been seeing. The next, you start thinking about, but I was in the hospital 2 months ago. It means that the doctor did not treat me well. And then you go to the doctor and you start complaining. And the doctor just looks at you and looks at the ground and shakes his head and says, do I have to live with you? Okay. So, hand washing, you can't do away. You can run away from hand washing.
Yeah.
And that's why I said if you cannot get water available, because the next thing you hear is it's a public toilet. There is no water, there is no soap. Fine, but you can get the hand sanitizer in very tiny containers and you go around with it. Just take a little, rub on your palm, glide it together like you can hear the sound, and then you go on with your work. And the moment you sight water in another location, you wash your hands and you stay clean. So don't wait until things go bad before you start doing what is right. Start doing it. Let it become a lifestyle. Aside from eating healthy, aside from drinking portable water, you also must keep your hands clean, because it is still with the same hands. Many people had COVID. Yeah, people contacted COVID by touching railings of public places and knobs of doors and all that. Have we all forgotten about that? That we just go through offices without even caring. You know, those days when I resumed to work. Oh, guess what? In the morning, I will personally take the hand sanitizer. Now, someone always opens the front door for me, so I won't touch. But once I go to the front door, the next thing, I had the one in spray. That's well diluted with more of spirit. I had the thick one. Then I will just pour the thick one on my hand, rub it off. I'll just caress that handle of the door. Well, I'll spray the one, I'll do that. And every door I pass through, I did all that.
We were actually living a calculated life.
Yes.
And it's just funny how
Everything
the whole system just dwindled.
Yes. Global, and that's the natural character of every human. And it shouldn't be. When you see people living up to that, I still see people with face masks. And I enjoy the look some other people give them, like, who is this one?
You're strange.
Funniest thing is that there was this gentleman with a face mask. He had upper respiratory tract infection.
Wow.
Yes, he had runny nose. So a couple of times he would just bring down and then clean and then discard and quickly use an hand sanitizer again.
Clean up.
Just and he will put up his face mask. What is he trying to do? You may look at him as he's strange, right? He's trying to practice safe, take care of himself, avoid spreading the virus out to others. And then being that he's having a respiratory tract infection, he's at risk of a bacterial superimposition over the viral runny nose. So he doesn't want to come down with a pneumonia or something, or let me say it in pidgin, on top of the one we already done the system. So he's trying to play safe for himself and for you. So such a person should be saluted.
Absolutely.
And not being looked at as being a weirdo. Where are you coming from? He's in a public place, maybe a reception, and then you notice the way people will just avoid. Some won't even greet him. Oh, the gentleman was just cool with himself, busy with his phone. Those that came to him, he even shook hands, still hugged some other people, and when he finished, he still took his stuff, sprayed on his hand, and then continued pressing his phone. And before he left the scene, he took the thing, sprayed the whole phone, and then packed everything gently, got up, shop knuckle, hair, and he left.
Like it or not, no matter how people want to judge that what he did, he passed a great message. I mean, you took from it was a great influence.
He challenged me. He re-educated me, and he reminded me of the right things that I should be doing.
Absolutely.
So what did I do? I went back, looked for my hand sanitizer container. Bang, bang, bang. They arranged. The one in my office, I rearranged everything and resumed the practice.
All right, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Solutions Clinic right here on the Remedy Dial, Solutions 93.9. We're live on Facebook, so you can do well by dropping your comments. I can see one by Adeyemi Olabode says, bless you, Vic Riches. You're much appreciated for enlightening us on how to prevent ourselves from external and internal diseases and infection. May God continue to. Thank you so much. Watching from Michigan, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And all of this is to Doc, too, who is, educating us in all of this. We really do appreciate your comment this morning. All right, be sure to send in questions if you have to the WhatsApp line. If you have questions regarding infections, if you've been a victim to one and you're dealing with one, you need clarity on how to go about it, send us a message via WhatsApp or regular message. You can do an SMS to 0904 422 2939 0904 422 2939. You can also drop it on Facebook at Solutions 939 FM, where we're streaming live. All right, I'll go play some commercials and I'll be back as we conclude this morning. Stick around.
Do you mind if I interview you quickly?
No. I don't get time.
Just a quick one, sir. If you get 1 million naira right now, what would you?
You said? First of all, hey, I go change this my phone. After that, I will go buy red bars, you understand? Then I'll go work well. Come block my landlord main office, see my status. God declare for the boys there. Levels all love you that.
Take off on a millionaire level and do as you like with the FCMB Millionaire Promo Season 9 by increasing your savings account balance by 10,000 naira and keeping it for 30 days in your FCMB account. And if you are a new customer, deposit 10,000 naira into your account and keep it for 30 days. And you could be one of the winners of ₦1 million and other amazing cash rewards. Approved by NLRC and FCCPC. FCMB, Light Bank and I.
Whenever I tell people I'm a full-time master student and a content creator, they go, huh? How are you able to do both all at once? You bewitch? No big juju. Na MTN 5G. Ever since 5G came into my life, I've been on cloud 9. I get to take my classes online in real time and upload my videos before you say Jack Robinson. Even babe isn't left out. Our long distance is waxing strong.
Hello, babe. Can you hear me? Your video is frozen again.
We don't do that here, because life is a breeze.
Experience the wonders of MTN 5G. Hyper-fast internet connection with no buffering, zero lag, and quality data capabilities like never seen before. No pichuju, not MTN 5G. Now available on iPhone. MTN. What are we doing today?
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa. Just use Momo. You want buy recharge card or data plus jollificate 15% bonus when you recharge? Just use Momo. You want pay for market where you buy? Just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And it dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account to fiam make you fit dey pay for anything. Send and receive money sharp. sharp because life is simple with Momo. You go jollificate 15% bonus anytime you recharge with Momo.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Mrs. Adishola Odofin. I'm the Chief Consultant, Government Dental Center, Dubai. Have you visited your dentist this year at all? You know, you have to visit your dentist once in 6 months. Remember, the health of your mouth determines and mirrors the health of your body. Keep listening to Solutions Clinic on 93.9 FM. Thank you.
Alright, it's still the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. This is Solutions Clinic, and this morning we're having a discussion on how to prevent infection in the body. Dr. Chukwuma Okoli is with me in the studio, and we've been having quite an interesting conversation talking about infection prevention and control, and we've talked about an ample of several issues rather, and this morning we're going to be speaking more. I am also looking to receiving your messages. I have a couple of messages already on WhatsApp, so do well to send yours to 0909 422 2939 0904 422 2939. Dr. Chukwuma is still here. Well done, Doc. We've been having quite the conversation this morning, and the messages I'm receiving, you know, is a testament to that. This is a message from Toulouse. She says, "Good morning to you, Victor Richard, and the doctor in the studio. I never believed a health show can be this interactive and interesting. Thank you for the work that you do." Thank you so much for that feedback. And she goes on to say, "I am currently dealing with a toilet infection. I stay in a public apartment and we use toilets together. I've been looking for how to handle it. I don't know how to go about it. What do I need to do?"
Thank you. It's quite simple. You stay in a public place, you may need to stop using the public toilet, right? Now there are makeshifts. You can't dig a toilet in your bedroom, of course.
Certainly not.
But you can get this mobile sitting toilet and plastic containers, okay?
Disposable, yeah.
Disposable or pool or whatever they call it. No, but you can get that, and then you use it. Now, this is how to use it. Okay, this is it. It's brand new. You just got it. Now you wash it and you pour your disinfectant into it. Depending on what you use around you, we have the Savlon, Dettol, Izal. That's for Africa around here. Okay, after washing it, you pour and use to move it around it, and then you store it like that. So when you want to use it, you pour away the disinfectant, make use of it, wash it. After washing, you pour another disinfectant and keep it. That keeps that plastic item safe for every time you have to use it. If you go on like this, you will be free from any form of toilet infection. And of course, the current one you are having, you need to get treated. So beg to see a physician and get treated. So your body is clean and safe from it as of now, then the safe practice will prevent a reoccurrence.
Absolutely. And it brings me to the other question I was going to ask you, urinary tract infection, which is, you know, quite common. I think that's from the toilet as well.
Exactly, that's what they call the toilet infection.
Oh, that's what generally?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's it. And so it's still the same, of course, the same process, yes. Just make sure you get treated first, and then do away with the public toilet. Get something private for you alone. And if you're living in a house where you have access to a toilet, please get to the toilet, disinfect, sanitize, and lock it up. And before you use it, flush first.
I don't think we do that here. We're saving water. Having to flush the toilet. And you know, before the water rolls in back into the system, you might.
Okay, now if I understand you're being real, and I love that.
That's the truth.
Okay, just open the tap, fill the bucket, and then manually
flush it that way.
Flush it that way. Then you can use the button on top. That way you will still be able to utilize and then practice safe. Remember, safe practice is what will ensure longevity of health. It is not getting treated that will ensure longevity. It is safe practice. So you need to get treated now and start the safe practice. And anytime there is a breach, probably some people get very close friends and they use it and they so use my toilet and then the whole thing is back. Okay, go back, say the doctor, and restart the process. There's no crime in trying. Keep trying and you will get it.
Absolutely. Do we have infection prevention and control programs here in Nigeria?
No, sir.
Oh, that's rather sad.
Yes. A lot of people are involved, a lot of infection specialists, consultants in various teaching hospitals, they play their role. The truth is the burden of the job overweighs and is much more than what one or two people can do. So I think at this juncture, number one, the government needs to recognize its role in these things. Okay, a government first must see its citizens as its most valuable asset. When you see your citizens as your valuable asset, then you invite the professionals to sit down in a round table, think about how to protect the health of your citizens. At that point, you'll be able to release appropriate funds to run appropriate programs to protect the health of your citizens. That is the way to go. It's not about budget. That's the last thing. It's not about, I'm zoning 50 million to the health sector. To do what? At the end of the day, the money disappears.
No plan, no structure put in place.
No plan, no structure. Have the structure in place before you think about the amount to be spent. It is the structure. That's why we have what is called monitoring and evaluation in global health. Okay, these are the people that will evaluate before a program is started. The evaluators will tell you what it would cost, the input. The evaluators will give you the input in terms of human manpower, other things you need, the money aspect, the funding, everything. And when they are done with it, they forward it to you, the decision makers, the policy makers, to release the funds. And then you start the program. And while the program is started, you are still monitoring and evaluating while the program is running. This takes place in the developed countries. But at least they started from somewhere.
What can I say? We can only just hope for the best. But the bottom line of this conversation is, they say charity begins at home. So before we even blame health workers and we blame the government, the question would be, what are you doing to live safe? So your final words as we conclude this morning.
Thank you very much, Vic. I'm so happy with you today. Yes. Charity begins at home. And I'm sure most of you wondering, this doctor, this minute you blame the government. But that's the truth. We have to balance the discussion. But the truth is, charity begins at home. You want to eat, you just pick the plate from the sink without even washing it, and you dish your food to a plate that contains some tiny decaying droplets from the previous washing, and then you dish the rice that is semi-cold or even cold on it.
You see the thing that you mentioned now? It's sad because it's very common that people don't even rinse it. Can just take tissue and clean up something that you left overnight.
That's why they have food poisoning and all that. And the next thing you are saying one doctor did not treat you well somewhere.
Gracious.
Then you are back. I mean, you pick the plate from the sink, you rinse it. After rinsing, and then you take a wipe, and then you clean, and then serve your hot food. And you eat. And then you take your potable water, drink. Something as simple as that. And then when you use the convenience, you clean up properly. Whether you use number 1 or you did number 2, you clean up appropriately. And then you live a healthy lifestyle. And you go for fruits and smoothies, not, I don't want to mention not the
carbonated
beverages,
drinks.
not the carbonated drinks. You live healthy. That is it. Start from your house. Start from re-educating yourself. You have been trained. retrain yourself. You have been educated. Re-educate yourself and spread the good news to others. Charity begins at home.
Absolutely. I must say thank you to you, Dr. Chukwuma Okoli, for being very passionate with your education on health. It's always, inspiring to have you talk to us as we discuss, health subjects and Solutions Clinic. Thank you so much for your feedbacks and for you listening at home. I'll be back next week, Monday, for yet another exciting edition of the show Solutions Clinic. It's a new dawn for Nigeria. JDS with that record. Stick around, more to come. My name is Victoria Richard.
Cheerful, the day is bright, it's bright and fair, a new day has come. Cheerful, I'm leaving my past behind, tomorrow is the future, today is right now.